Welcome to the 611 Films YouTube channel. We are back in 99. My name is David Groves, is one of your hosts, and with me as always,
Neil McKay. What's up?
Neil McKay, what is happening? We're talking about Existenz, not Existence. Existenz.
And I am a big Cronenberg. This is one of those weird things like that. I guess I didn't really realize it was a Cronenberg movie because I'm a huge fan of Cronenberg, but I was like, oh,
Right.
He did. Wait a minute, he did that, and then I was like, and I hadn't even seen it until
Neither of us had seen it.
ago.
Yeah, full disclosure, we both hadn't seen it before, and I didn't know it was a Cronenberg movie either until I saw it. And
I had no idea, and it was like 2 days ago. I was like, oh, but spoiler alert, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this isn't his best work, So
no, it's not.
I was, History of Violence, The Fly, The Dead Zone, Naked Lunch, like these are like Eastern Promises, excellent movies. This one, I was kind of like, ooh, no,
kind of let down. Yeah, I think. Well, it's an interesting story. Like as we're doing like the alternate reality type thing. I guess the one big thing is, of course, with virtual reality. With the ideas of now with the Apple Provision, with all this stuff that's coming out, that's really in people's hands, VR technology, this from 99 kind of hit that, it was like, or this shows me like how far we will go in the future of things getting injected into us, or maybe having a chip in our hand that has our IDs and our credit card. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that, I do think he was a little bit ahead of his time with that. The story in and of itself, but the idea of the technology, I thought was interesting.
It's hitting the topic and the premise and everything, and it seemed to be like kind of a thing that was going on in '99. We did the 13th floor, but when I see this and I see that, it just makes me appreciate The Matrix so much more, because that movie was so innovative and such a mind fuck,
Sure.
And this one was like trying to be that, but it kind of didn't. It was like, he didn't really go. It just was kind of, the whole thing was just kind of, again, spoilers, but like at the moment the movie started, I was like, I bet you this is the game right now. They're like, we're automatically in it. And like everything, like the introduction of people in this little like gathering to play the game is the game. And we never know if we're in or out of the game. And that's how it ends. And I'm like, the whole movies like that, like, is this real or is this the game? What is going on?
Right. And the biggest problem too with something like that is you don't it wasn't set up right. It's not set up, and there's so much lore to the idea of what I think he was trying to do that he couldn't keep up with such a low budget kind of movie at the time. Like, look, The Matrix had a good chunk of change to it, and of course we'll get to that. That'll probably be at the very end of this series and whatnot. But you could tell, like, it was a journey kind of movie, and there were just so many different things coming back and forth of who's this, and the Jennifer Jason Leigh character who is the game master or the game person, and Jude Law is sort of playing a trainee that's never actually, there's a port in the back of your body that they got to put it in, and he's never done it before. So just as that backstory, but I just don't think the film could keep up with what are the rules of this movie in and of itself. And if you changed it on us right away, we wouldn't know. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I guess this is real, not real.
Right. That was the thing they were doing. They kept changing. Like, they kept running into obstacles, which is like, okay, yeah, there's part for the course for a video game or something like that. But like, I don't know what the goal is. So when stuff goes wrong, like, I'm like, okay, sure. And I just felt like they never had the stakes, because I was like, what's the goal? Who is this person? Like, why are people trying to kill her? Who is this unknown, like, corporation that's like coming to get, like, what is all this? Like, what's the danger? I don't know what like the goal is or why they have to do these things they have to do. So it never really felt like I was like, okay, sure, I'm along for the ride, I guess.
I had to go onto like Wikipedia and kind of look it up too myself. And I just watched it a few days ago. Like, I was kind of like, okay. Like, I didn't love it and I didn't hate it, but you're right. It felt like that video game feeling of they got to get to the next level here and there, but I don't know the stakes and I don't know why I don't know what's the point of
yeah, that was the thing. It was sort of like what is like, because she seemed I need to make sure my game is safe and I can play it, and it's like, why, like what happens if you don't, yeah, it just was very, and why are people like saying kill the demoness and like, and then trying to assassinate her, like why is virtual reality that bad? Like, are people all up in arms about this stuff? It's
well,
like,
yeah, that's the thing. I feel like that could have been a cooler story if we had known those stakes. If there are these people that people like, it's like that Ready Player One feeling, or stuff we've said about like with AI or with VR and stuff like that. Like, people won't know the difference if it gets too crazy.
If it's
and
like right, and that's,
you want to live in the game more than you want to live in the world, like real world.
Right.
But again, it wasn't set up that way. It wasn't. It was just a sort of like, kind of like, it goes really quickly, which I always enjoy, and we'll figure it out. The problem is, it was a lot more of just like, talk about this, talk about that, but not giving us the info we need to get the story. Right. And if we knew, like, hey, this is a real world, or this is like, people feel like this is taking over, and now civilization is going to a crumble because nobody wants to actually do anything in the real world, that would have been cool. Instead,
which I think you remind, that wasn't that kind of like Surrogates, the Bruce Willis movie? Wasn't that kind of the plot of that? Everyone wanted to be in their
remember the name Surrogates. I don't think I've ever seen that though.
Everybody kind of were in like these avatars or like AI bodies or something in this virtual world, and they could be whatever they wanted to be. They could dress whatever they wanted, but they were really at home, like sleeping, like in this world, and that was what was happening. Like, the real world, nobody was really living in. They were living in this virtual world. And anyway, it's actually like a pretty cool. It's in the same vein as this.
Yeah.
But it was a cool. I thought it was a cool flick. But anyway, I mean, it definitely had. I mean, it's a Cronenberg movie because there's weird, like, gross stuff.
He's a body horror guy. Just if nobody's seen it, he's did The Fly. He did Scanners. I've seen like half his filmography. I think Shivers. Me and Johnny watched that on a horror October thing last year.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot. I mean, I love History of Violence, Eastern Promise. Like, when he got a little bit more realistic or realism.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that.
Even I mean, but those movies had like some brutality in them. Like,
yeah. He likes gore.
Yeah. So there's definitely, and this thing had, I mean, Jude Law's eating this slimy creature thing, like turning it into a gun. It's just so weird. And then it's like, yeah, I mean, he's literally eating something and then making bones of this lizard into a gun. And it's like, it was one of the strangest things I've ever seen. I'm like, well, that was kind of wild.
Well, yeah, guys, I'd say it's okay. If you want to check it out, check it out. If you're a Cronenberg fan, I'd say check it out just to get his filmography. If not, okay, no biggie. But hey, thanks so much for watching this back in '99. We'll see you again on the next one. Peace.